Okay, so with the tracking gun, once you've detected there is overshooting, which means the original schedule is past the original schedule. Compared with the original schedule, is past the original schedule. As long as you looking at not really necessarily that when you see is an overshooting, then you start to take action. Normally, if let's say we're supposed to complete 50% this month, and then yet you're only completing at 30% after your calculation, then it is an indication that things may not be that well. You see, so the important thing here is we must learn how to detect, the overshooting. And that overshooting of time is what we call delay. Okay. So delay means that you're not meeting the schedule, you are going to extend the schedule. These are all called delay. Okay. So we will have to take corrective actions. So there are some practical corrective action. Okay. And of course, you must understand what is the causes of the problem first, huh? So is it because it's weather, because it's some level shortages? So the very, very, very initial step is whenever you see that there's a chance of schedule being overshot or there is an overshooting in the schedule, you need to take, you need to evaluate the cause of the delay. You don't go and take corrective actions. You have to understand what's the cause here. What is the understanding? What is your understanding? What is it about? What causes this? Go and find the root symptoms or the root causes for it. Don't just look at the symptoms, okay? Then after you've evaluated the causes, you review the delay, whether it's important delay or not. There are circumstances that some delays are actually on the critical path. And if it's on the critical path, essentially it means that you've got to deal with it. And maybe there are some delays that may have free float to actually cover up. But if it's total float zero, free float zero, then we are looking at this is a very, very critical activity. So first, you determine the causes of the delay. Then you determine whether that delay is actually on the activities on the critical path. Would it affect the overall schedule? Would it affect the next activity? And if the next activity or the subsequent activities will be affected based on the critical path, then it's something that you really have to take note. But of course, I'm not saying if it's delayed, it's okay if it's not critical activities or if you don't need to, or the causes is really unforeseen. It's not like that. It's just that you will need to have different strategies, different urgency of strategies when you're dealing with different type of delays, which is either on the critical path or on the non-critical path, you see. And then that delay, whether is actually what we call a claimable delay or non-claimable delay. When we talk about a non-claimable delay, means that you're not going to be compensated with more time. If it's a claimable delay, such as unforeseen weather, or maybe there are some issues with natural disasters and all that kind of things. Like nowadays, there's a very big flood going on, in certain places, and then that is natural disaster, it's unexpected, unforeseen situation. There are certain delays that are claimable, and when the delays are claimable, you deal with it in a different way. Okay, then if the delay is non-claimable, you've got to deal with it in a different way. So you see, so there's different categories of delays. Okay. Then of course, the practically is we also have to look into, what is the fastest way of solving the problem. Normally, adding more manpower, adjusting some resources will actually immediately quite fast bring things back to its original position. You see, but of course, there are some issues that is related with adding more people, adding more machine, because you may have other concerns like moving space, the material actually is not enough for you. If you bring in a team of people, there won't be enough material to go around, or maybe it's a lack of coordination, so you have to coordinate things a little bit better, and then rearrange things a little bit better. And it may be dealing with resources availability as well. Maybe that material or that label or that brand is really not available, not available in that few months, or in that one or few weeks, or the stock is on the way. So there are issues like that. So you don't go and straight away say, "No, I want to add resources." Just be very, very mindful. So get yourself understand what is the causes of the delay. Get yourself to understand what is on the critical and non-critical path. If the delay is on the non-critical path or critical path, and then assess whether those delays are claimable or non-claimable. And then we go from there to actually come up with a strategic solution. So of course, one of them is adding resources. Another one is what we call fast tracking. So meaning we'll go and look at certain activities that is really that can overlap maybe, and then we can try to do activity crashing or or fast tracking of activities so that we bring the things back to the original schedule. Okay, and then we may, in circumstances, we may have to resequence activity, especially for delays that are claimable and non-critical activities. Claimable is not written here, but then you try to remember. Claimable usually means that you'll be compensated with a bit of more time. It means that you have to apply for extension of time, and that is under one of the reasons that you can get extension of time. Then that delay is one of the delay that can be claimable under extension of time. Then you may want to rearrange, or resequence activity, or you go and contractually apply for extension of time, and then come back and rearrange the schedule. This is like rescheduling. Certain things is delayed already. You just take it as it is, and then you try to rearrange the subsequent activities. That's what we're trying to say. But normally we cannot do that. The other one, fast tracking and also crashing, they are always dealing with critical activities. But with rescheduling, rescheduling, we're mainly dealing with non-critical activities. We are trying to play around with non-critical activities and also usually claimable activities. Fast tracking is like a bit like desperation already. It's a bit like crashing activities. These are more desperate, more stronger method of choosing timeline back to this original schedule. But those are usually because it's non-claimable. If you go and apply for extension of time, you also would not get extension of time. So you really must find a solution for it. Okay. Then you may also think about eliminating some of the non-essential work. Like some activities may not be so critical or so essential. Then you may think that just free it up or just not do it, or skip some steps. I mean, like it's not that important, for example. And then on top of certain short of perfection. Sometimes we want it to be perfect, but if we can reduce perfection a little bit or cut down on non-essential items, then you may also bring things back to the original schedule as well. So obviously, when we talk about delay management, okay, regular monitoring reporting is very important. Communicating with all the stakeholders, subcontractors, contractors, client, all that, to encourage everybody to align with the new plan, and everybody understand that there's some urgency, why there's urgency, and why we must help. A lot of this, I find that as my experience as a contractor and also as a design engineer, all the time there's a miscommunication here that engineers, when they or contractor wants to do certain catching up, and engineers realize that this is not really going to help. But there is a bit of a communication here, communication error here. Contractors do not want to actually specify out why they need to do this to catch up, and the engineers maybe do not understand what is the motives behind it. And sometimes it could be non-critical activity, and the contractors just let it be. But the engineers do not understand because they do not understand how the contractor arranged their workflow. I mean, it's like there is a little bit of a gap here that needs to be bridged, and that can be bridged through fostering stronger communication, telling the other side why do they need to do this, telling the other side you must do this, why, you see. So I think that's better understanding among the stakeholders. Okay. Then so I'll leave it to the next recording.